Hey everyone, I'm Rick Beato. On today's Everything Music, we're going to talk about how to use pedal point or pedal tones in your compositions and improvisations. Coming up next. Pedal tones or pedal point can usually be found in the bass in all different genres of music, in classical music, in jazz, and in rock. A great example of a pedal tone is in the Bach St. Johannes Passion. Let's check it out. In the Johannes Passion, the pedal begins on a low F sharp, and then we have the C sharp, which is the fifth, and then right to the flat six, which creates this Aeolian sound. But that dissonance there between the C sharp and D is really one of the beauties of this pedal point, is the darkness of it. And then down to the root F sharp, and then B, and then down to the major seventh, E sharp or F, and then it resolves to F sharp and B, and then finally we hit that tonic, that F sharp minor sound. So all of that tension is happening because of that pedal point. So you've got Bach uses pedal tones or pedal point all the time. This is really common. It's throughout this entire piece, but it really is used for a dramatic effect. What's going on harmonically that really creates this tension is once you have the notes F, B, and D, which is really an inverted B diminished chord over F sharp. And then you have that suspended four down to the minor third. That diminished chord over the tonic is where that intense ache happens. So that's one type of pedal point. In jazz, really great jazz players will use pedal points to increase the intensity in a section. Sometimes it's written into the tune, but a lot of times the bass player will play on the tonic or the fifth of the chord, and they'll have chords moving over that, and the soloists will be soloing over those, or maybe just soloing over the one chord, but playing a bunch of substitute chord changes. Here's a great example of jazz saxophonist Chris Potter playing over the B-flat pedal in the song Moment's Notice by John Coltrane. Let's check it out. Let's check that out again. So what he's doing there is just playing a series of sub changes over that pedal, and there's an increasing amount of tension with what he's playing. Let's talk about that. I'm going to play the transcription that's under the video slowly with the pedal so that you can hear what these triadic changes are that are creating the tension here. Listen. This is the lead in. So right there we have. So that's a B major with a little double chromatic approach. Upper and lower neighbor. So you've got B major over B flat, and then you got da 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 da, which is a D major over B flat. He's going. The next little section. Okay, there's a couple other sub changes going on there. He goes, so he hits that C sharp there, and I think of it as he's hearing kind of A major over B flat, and then he comes down D major. So that would be like a B flat leading augmented, and then he goes, a little turnaround there. And then down G major. So he's playing G major over B flat, which would give you a 13 flat 9 sound. So what are the different sounds he's playing? What are the different triad sounds? He's got B major over B flat. He's got A major over B flat. He's got D major over B flat. And he's got G major over B flat. But those quick little sub changes, those little triads that are happening in there, make that section, that pedal section, really sounds incredibly exciting. You can do a lot of different things with pedal points. I could do a series of chords like this over a C pedal. C major, A major, G half diminished, F diminished major 7, back to C, and play something like this. So I played C major, A major, G half diminished, F diminished major 7, back to C. Let me give you another example that's a great illustration of this. That was Kenny Barron and Brad Meldo playing Billy's Bounce, which is an F blues from a live performance in 1999. Now, Kenny, up until that point in the solo, is playing very standard F dominant voicings over this F blues. McCoy Tyner, a lot of fourth voicings. But right there, he launches into a pedal point, and he plays F in the bass, and then over that, he plays this E add 9 in inversion, starting on the B. So B, E, F sharp, G sharp. He plays up that arpeggio. Let's check it out again. So why does that sound cool? Well, it's a momentary suspension of the F tonality. Instead of hearing that F dominant sound, we hear for a moment this. And that's coming out of the tonic diminished scale. It's like E major over F. So you have the B is the flat 5. Then you have the E, which is the major 7. And then if you go up to the G sharp, that is the flat 3rd on the F chord. But he also has the add 9. Okay, so that add 9 there is a half step above the root there. So it's a flat 9 interval. So what we have here is two notes of the chord surround the tonic. Okay, so you got F, you got E, and F sharp. So that really suspends the tonality and makes it sound exciting. You can also pedal off a note at the top of a melodic line or the top of a chord. Okay, so let's say I've got an F major chord here and I play. So I'm using that C to pedal off of. Play the F major and then that's a sharp form. So I'm using a Lydian scale. You know, you could go down the scale. So that's another way to use pedal point. Let me show you an example of how to use it on the guitar. There's a song that I played a solo on called Cardinal Motion with a band called Crowfield back in 2007 or 8. And in the solo, I used the pedal point where I'm pedaling off a top note. Let's go in the control room and I'll show you what I'm talking about. The chord progression in the solo is C to G minor to B flat major, B flat sus2 to F major. I'll play the beginning of the solo here. I'll play along with it. Okay, that's the part where the pedal point comes in. Let me go right to it here, and I'll show you what I'm doing on it. So we're on the C chord, and I'm going. Then on the G minor chord, then I go to. Then I'm pedaling off the flat 7. Think of like a G minor 7 chord. And I walk back up to the minor 3rd, and then on the B flat chord I continue it. Which gives me a B flat Lydian sound. So I'm on the fifth of the B flat chord there. So I'm on the flat 7 of G minor, and I'm in the 5th of. Listen to it again. Then I go into a triplet. On the F major chord, I'll go in. Right into an F major triad in triplets. So, one more time. So that's a really good example of using a pedal point in a solo, but that's an upper pedal point. We're pedaling off a high note, and then I have a descending line that follows it, but keeps coming back to that high note. Now, you want to pick notes that are really strong notes in the chord when you're going to do something like that. If I played different notes in the scale where I had a non-chord tone on that high point of the pedal, it wouldn't sound good. You have low pedal points that you can play things off of that are to create intensity in your solos, and you have high pedal points where you can pedal off a particular note of the chord to also create melodic interest. That's all for now. Please subscribe here to my Everything Music YouTube channel if you're interested in the Beato book. Go to my website at www.rickbeato.com. And if you want to support the channel even more, check out the Beato Club. You can find out more about it on my website as well. Thanks so much for watching.